Welcome to the Application Delivery How-To video series. My name is Joey Coakley, and today we're going to cover the topic of how to set up enterprise-grade load balancing in Azure using Avi. Before we get started with our deployment, let's take a quick look at the Avi and Azure integration. In an Avi deployment, the controller is responsible for performing the heavy lifting when it comes to managing the Azure resources our application requires. In today's demo, we'll utilize Avi's native Azure integration to deploy an enterprise public-facing application, all without leaving the Avi console. So let's jump into our app. Today we'll be deploying Hello World. Hello World currently lives in a virtual machine ScaleSet. This allows our backend pool members to scale based on load. When we load balance this application, we'll tell Avi to point to the virtual machine ScaleSet as our pool members. This way, changes to the instance count can get picked up by Avi dynamically, and we'll add or remove pool members based off of the count of instances in the virtual machine ScaleSet. The controller will take care of provisioning our service engines, an Azure external ALB, and a DNS record so that users can access our application by name. Let's get into the configuration. Okay, to begin configuring our application, you can see here that I don't have any virtual services currently defined on my controller. I do have a DNS zone, Azure Demo Avi US. I don't have any records in this zone yet. I also have the Hello World virtual machine ScaleSet defined. And one thing I do have is my Azure Cloud is configured. So in my Azure Cloud, I have my subscription ID, I have my Azure credentials, and more importantly, I'm tying into the Azure DNS here. So let's go provision our Hello World app. I'll select Azure. Here I want to make this application available on the internet, so I'll check this box here. This is my VNet that I'd like to deploy into. And let's go ahead and create a pool. Here I want to change the load balancing algorithm to be round robin so we can flip through our different servers when we go to test later on. And here's where I tie this into an Azure ScaleSet. Here's my virtual machine ScaleSet. The rest of this I can just sort of next through. I don't need anything with special policies or anything advanced. Now, when this deploys, this is going to take a couple of moments. We need to basically plumb up the new IPs to the service engine, provision new public IPs, and we have to allow some time for the DNS record to propagate. So I'm just going to pause the video here for just a moment. And once this is all good, I will return. Okay, we are back, and it looks like our application has finished provisioning. Let's take a look at what Avi did for us on the Azure side really quick. So in our DNS zone, we can see that a Hello World record has been published with a public IP. And this corresponds to the public IP address that we had plumbed up on our behalf. Let's take a look at our application. And here we can see I have my Hello World app running. And because of that round robin setting, I'm flipping back and forth between instance 1 and instance 3, which is what we expect to see from our virtual machine ScaleSet. And with that, that concludes our enterprise application setup. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos in our Application Delivery How-To video series.